your steering count, your C-suite is your steering committee. Are they just setting more or less the guidelines or the principles of the program, and then essentially acting as the escalation point for those things which can't be solved at those layers just below
Yes.
them?
Yes, both of those things. Yeah, for sure. And in the beginning, it was really about educating the folks around the table about what we're trying to accomplish. And we planted some seeds at that time. We asked them to start looking at their own reports, because they were all getting reports from different areas, but really push back on the people who are generating those information products and handing it to them, and asking them to ask the people who gave it to them, what's the quality of this data? How do you know the quality of this data is what you say that it is? And that has generated some interesting discussions. And then on top of that, they help evangelize what we're trying to accomplish and support the folks who are actually doing the work. The data governors, they meet monthly, and they meet for an hour and a half, and they have 4 subcommittees that work on individual topics. And they've been very engaged in this process. But to have VP level and director level folks spending this much time on something, there was no way we were going to do this unless there was an accountability structure that accounted for that.
Right, right. And so when you say C-suite steering committee, how many how many people from your C-suite do you have on it?
It's a portion of it, so it's probably, guessing it's roughly half.
Wow. So that shows a significant commitment from your organization around the value of data and the value of the insights that comes from data, I would assume.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case. Our current CEO, Roy Vineyard, he really did a great job of understanding why it mattered and evangelizing the importance of this. And I think he set the tone for the rest of the organization.
Right. So that was the next rapid fire question, which was, how do you get started? And I would assume you have to start at that CEO level and if your CEO understands the value of data, then it's a matter of coaching them on, okay, here's how we'll put together a program. Here's what you can expect from it. And here's the communication that really needs to come from the top down to get everyone really on board. But it sounds like if you had a CEO that was there, maybe was the CEO the instigator, or was it sort of a dual kind of thing?
There was a preparatory period where I spent a fair amount of time talking to him about it. Also, our CIO spent a lot of time talking to him about it as well. And he's a very detail-oriented leader, and he really wanted to understand a lot of the details. And once it clicked, it became clear to him, then he really started to evangelize why it mattered. And that, again, really set the tone. In terms of starting, I would say call us up. And I'm half joking when I say that, but I will say that our system, when we put our system together, we spent time talking to a whole bunch of other systems out there that have been down this road before. We ended up collaborating with like 13 different health systems across the country. And it was really helpful to talk to other folks who are, waging the same battle in their institution. And we learned a lot. So I'd be happy to connect folks who may be watching right now to kind of jumpstart it. But in terms of where to actually start, I think you really have to have 2 people in the saddle out of the gate. You have to have an executive sponsor. So that's typically a CMO, CFO, or CMIO. And then on top of that, I think you have to start out with a data governance program manager, somebody who can really devote their time to understanding what we're trying to accomplish and putting in place a framework for accomplishing it.